Good morning, 5th grade. Today we are ready for math lesson 151. Today's lesson is a review lesson. Tomorrow is a test. So we're going to review the things that we've been learning. We're going to start out with our concept cards, and I want you to think, say the answer, and see how many you can get correct. We have a big stack of them, so see how many of them you know. See if you know all of them. Here we go. First of all, what is the freezing point of water Fahrenheit? 32 degrees. Freezing point of water Celsius. 0 degrees. Normal body temperature Fahrenheit. 98.6 degrees. Normal body temperature Celsius. 37 degrees. Boiling point of water Fahrenheit. 212 degrees. Boiling point of water Celsius. 100 degrees. Formula for converting from Fahrenheit to Celsius. C equals 5/9 times, in parentheses, F minus 32. For converting from Celsius to Fahrenheit, what is the formula? F equals 9/5 times C plus 32. 1 acre equals how many square feet? Anyone remember this one? 43,560. 1 square mile equals how many acres? 640. 1 square yard equals how many square feet? 9. 1 square foot equals how many square inches? 144. What kind of triangle is this? Equilateral triangle. Formula for finding the area of a rectangle. A equals length times width. Formula for finding the perimeter of a rectangle. P equals, in parentheses, 2 times L plus, in parentheses, 2 times W. Formula for finding perimeter of a square. P equals 4 times S. Area of a square. A equals S times S. This is a point, angle, isosceles triangle, right triangle, straight angle, obtuse angle because it's more than 90 degrees, acute angle, less than 90 degrees, right angle, 90 degrees, congruent angles, diagonal, vertex, octagon, 8 sides, 7 sides is heptagon, 6 sides, hexagon, 5 sides, pentagon. What is this? Trapezoid, rhombus, square, ray, line segment, parallelogram, polygon, congruent triangles, similar triangles, simple closed curve, parallel lines, perpendicular lines, rectangle, line, intersecting lines. Okay, now we have some that we've done farther, that we've learned more recently than we've learned the geometry terms. 1 yard equals how many inches? 36. Deci means 1/10, centa, 100th, milli, 1,000th, kilo, 1,000, hecto, 100, deca, 10. 1 year equals how many weeks? About 52. Now remember, these things we want to remember for sure for our test, just extra review we're doing here. So make sure you get these in your head. If there are any you don't know, study them extra much. 1 leap year equals 366 days. Decade equals 10 years. Score equals 20 years. Just reviewing place value here, we have ones, tens, hundreds, 100s, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, and then be 10 million, 100 million, and on from there. 1 quart equals how many, 1 pint equals how many fluid ounces? 16. 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. 1 tablespoon equals 3 teaspoons. 1 pint equals 2 cups. 1 gallon equals how many quarts? 4. 1 quart equals 2 pints. 1 decameter equals how many meters? 10. Hectometer equals 100 meters. Kilometer equals 1,000 meters. 1 meter equals how many millimeters? 1,000. 1 meter equals how many centimeters? 100. 1 meter equals how many decimeters? 10. 1 mile equals how many yards? 1,760. 1 mile equals how many feet? 5,280. 1 ton equals how many pounds? 2,000. 1 pound equals how many ounces? 16. 1 bushel equals how many pecks? 4, and 1 peck equals how many quarts? 8. Okay, now that we've gone through that, let's just review a few more things here on the board. So we talked about when we're finding what part something is of something else, and we talked about having numbers in which one is how many times more than the other number. So how do we figure these things out? How do we work with these problems? So if we have something like 85 cows is how many times as many as 5 cows? How can we figure out how many times more that is? And what we're going to do is take our larger number and divide it by our smaller number. 85 divided by 5. Okay, so we know now that 85 cows is 17 times as many as 5 cows. Now what about $8 is what part of $32? How do you find it if it's a part of something else? Now here we're going to make it a fraction. So if we have $8 is what part of $32, we're going to go 8 over 32, and then we're going to reduce that, and that will tell us our fraction. So $8 is 1/4 of $32. Remember when we work with temperature, we have 2 separate scales that we work with. We have Fahrenheit and we have Celsius. So if we have 20 degrees Celsius, we want to change it to Fahrenheit. Maybe someone is more used to reading temperature in Fahrenheit, which we would be. So we have a formula that helps us do that. F equals 9/5 times C plus 32. So we take 20 degrees Celsius and we put it in place of our C. Now remember, normally we do our multiplication and division first. Unless there's parentheses, then we do that first. So here we have F equals, we have to go 9/5 times 20/1. Okay, so now we have 36 for our multiplication here. So we have F equals 36 plus 32. So now we have to add. So that gives us 68. 36 plus 32 is 68. So 20 degrees Celsius is the same as 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And remember to write your degrees sign and your Fahrenheit or Celsius letter for whatever it is that you're using. Okay, last of all here, what about when we're finding area and we're finding perimeter? Remember, we've worked with this a lot recently, so think through what you're doing and how the shapes work and how the formulas work. So if we want to find the area of a square, we know that all 4 sides are the same, so we simply go A equals 4 times S. So here we go, A equals 4 times 3.5. And that would give us the area of the square. So if we go 4 times 3.5, 3.5 times 4, that would be 14. And so we have 14 square feet. Now remember, you need to write square if you're measuring area, because area does not just measure a length, it's measuring square units, whether it's feet or yards. So in your answer, you need to write square feet, or whatever it is that you're measuring, okay? If you're finding the perimeter of a square, you're finding the length around the whole outside. Again, all the sides are the same, so we have P equals, did we just do 4 times? Did we just do 4 times S? I believe we did. What did we just do? Okay, so for the perimeter, we go 4 times S because there are 4 sides and they're 3.5 feet each, right? I believe we just did that. So whatever our answer for that would be for that, that's how many feet are the perimeter of our square. Now the area, remember area is square feet, so we have to take one side and multiply it by the other side. And so it would be 3.5 times 3.5. I believe I did that wrong the other time there. I think I went 4 times S for our area, is that right? Okay, so for area we want to go S times S, and for perimeter we want to go 4 times S. Okay, so if I did that incorrectly, notice this now. Perimeter, P equals 4 times S, because there are 4 sides that are the same length. Area, instead of counting the square feet, you can just take one side and multiply it by another side. Okay, side times side gives us the area of a square. Okay, then last of all, a rectangle is kind of the same idea, but for area we have, remember, length times width. That gives us the square units, square feet or square inches, whatever it is. Remember to write square. To find the perimeter, you go 2 times the length and 2 times the width and add them together. Okay? Work your lesson carefully. Let me know if you have any questions. Anything that you feel like you do not remember well, review that extra because tomorrow we have our test. See you in language.